So another podcast for the channel, and it's going to be a very fun one today, and it's very special and fun. This is going to be, it's not often that we have entrepreneurs and TV stars on our podcast here at Upsticks. So without hesitation, don't go anywhere because I've got to introduce you to, are you in? Bambi and Jojo.
Yay!
Hello.
How are you doing?
How are you?
I'm nervous, I'm nervous. Never do we have like really famous people on the podcast. So, I'm really nervous now.
Us dead listers.
Yeah, this is certainly we're upping our game a bit here, aren't we?
Well, we'll see at the end of the podcast.
Yeah, we'll mark you out of 10 later.
Yeah. So you're at the moment, you're down in Malaga. Sorry, I couldn't come to see you in the end, but anyway, we're here now, so that's good.
Yeah, I've come down to Malaga because we've had some business, a bit of play as well today and yesterday. So yeah, we sold a van today, haven't we?
Yeah, we sold a van today. We are, if people don't know, we sell caravans for a living, don't we?
We do.
And we get filmed selling caravans as well on
Bargain Brits in the sun.
So yeah, we sold a caravan today. So it means it enables us to move forward and buy another caravan to put on another site and sell that one. So that's how we started, with one little caravan, and we've worked our way up.
Yeah.
I must admit, it's brilliant. I mean, you've sent us clients already, and we're going to be doing non-lucrative visas and getting people on the site. But we'll talk about the TV in a bit, because I reckon everybody's dying to know about that bit. But the most important thing that we're going to talk about is your business. So before, you two were friends, though, before you went into business together, weren't you? You were good friends.
I bought a caravan from Bambi because she worked for a different company before we even realised that we knew each other 30 years before that. So it was just a thing that Bambi was a dancer and I was a singer, and we were both entertainers in the same field, and our paths had crossed like 30 years ago. So yeah, we were destined to be together, wasn't we?
So, yeah.
To do business.
Good. Yeah. So I sold Jojo her first mobile home, and yeah, it was a kind of a sad time for Jojo because her husband was terminally ill at the time, and he had been given 6 months to live, but he only lived for 6 weeks. She told me he was on the video call with me.
Yeah,
and
he
Jojo
wanted me to be looked after.
So I spoke to him, and I understood the situation. So it was having to be gentle with the whole thing. It wasn't like going, I'm not a hard sell person anyway.
No.
So
and she was kind, and we just became really good friends, didn't we?
Yeah, I helped to get a job in the industry as well, and it's gone from there.
So Jojo, at the time, had you, when your husband, or before your husband sadly passed, did you plan to come together here then?
God, yes. So yeah, it's a long story, but I'm adopted, and my birth mum lived in Spain, so I wanted to be near her. So we decided we would buy somewhere near her, which was 20 minutes away from her, was the caravan park, and it was perfect because we couldn't afford to buy in England. We had a council property, and we couldn't afford to just buy a house or sell a house and buy a house. So this was a great entry level to come and buy a caravan, and so Bambi helped us.
Yeah. So you've really, in terms of helping your clients, you've had first-hand experience of what it's like to move over.
God, yeah. We both lived in caravans.
Yeah.
And that stress, and in a very stressful situation, you say losing your husband. Well, it's and still making that jump. A lot of people probably wouldn't have done it. It's.
Do you know what? It saved my life. It absolutely saved my life. I believe coming to Spain saved my life, and I believe meeting Bambi has saved my life. Like, going forward, she got me my job into this industry selling caravans, and now we have built a business together over the last 9 months. 9 months today, I might add.
Yay!
We went live on July the 1st, 9 months ago today, and we have been nothing but successful. Well, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's been a learning curve as well,
Yeah. Yeah,
We've learned
yeah,
a lot
no, I
of
can.
languages. Even though I've been in the business quite a few years, there's a lovely little fly coming around my glass. A fly or a fairy, I don't know. But yeah, still learning stuff on the job, which is really is fun as well, isn't it? Learning, you should always learn, shouldn't you? You know, it makes you grow, and it definitely makes the business grow.
Oh, you never stop learning. You never stop
No,
learning,
no.
especially
And
in
I don't believe
business.
I would have done it without Bambi anyway. I wouldn't have done it. Although I did sales in the UK in different industries, I would never have sold caravans. She literally got me my start, and I literally learned from the ground up, you know. And 3.5 years on, me and her work like magic.
We
Isn't it?
click,
Mm.
we click. You know, it's taken us a long time to get here because of Jojo had a lot of, you know, she was going through it when she first came over, and it was hard for Jojo. But she's grown. I've watched her grow, especially in the time that we've been working together, and she's really come into her own now. And she's a great saleswoman. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gone into business with her.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I'm not doing it, by the way. I'm picking it up. She won't let me kill even a little fly. Bambi the vegan.
Right, okay. And you're not a vegan then, I take it?
I'm not. No, I'm a meat eater, and she's not. Like southeast London, northern Midlands. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why this shouldn't work, but it does. It works.
We both,
that's the right thing, isn't it? Opposites attract sometimes.
We click out as far as we have the same sense of humour. Okay, she's a meat eater and I'm a vegan. There's lots of jokes in there, but we don't really go there, do we? It's by the by. And we both women, and we both come from a mixed race background. So my father was British, my mother was English, and my father was Indian from the Punjab. And Jojo,
I'm adopted, and my real father was half Jamaican, half Turkish, and my mother was half Irish, half English. So there's a big mix. We're like little mongrels, aren't we? And
speak yourself, dear.
Well, I am. I'm a melting pot, you know. So there's a little bit of crazy in there as well, and that always helps.
Yeah.
You never short a conversation then. But I mean, with your clients, are they predominantly from the UK?
Yeah, it is quite. The industry is, there's not many people of colour who come and buy caravans. So I feel like we've upped that ratio a bit because of who we are. Tomorrow we've got an Asian guy coming to look with his family.
Today we sold to a black man.
We sold it to a lovely black guy and
a white lady.
Mixed race couple, interracial couple. And they're from Wolverhampton, so I'm from Wolverhampton. So it's kind of nice. We're bringing in a new clientele, not only from different backgrounds, different cultural backgrounds as well, that have maybe not looked into this side before. So I really love that. And lots of single people, lots of single women are coming over with us because they've seen that we've done it, and it's a good platform then to encourage them to do it if they want to.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, you guys, I mean, your personalities, just to go, like when we first met, just to explain to people who watch the channel. So when we first met, we did a Place in the Sun in 2022, I think it was, in Birmingham, didn't we?
Yeah.
Right. And I was really nervous about the whole thing. And it was good. I don't know if we do it. If I did it again, I'd definitely do it as part of a collective, just not on my own. You know, I'm not even sure if they allow those kind of things. I tried to get some more people to come.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
you know, so that would be a plan in the future, but definitely not my own again. I mean, it was a great experience, but it was, for branding, it was amazing. You know, it put us on the map in that respect.
Yeah.
But I got there and I was like nervous, and I had Jessie helping me, and I knew a couple of other people on stands, but I didn't know you guys there at all. And the first thing, the two things that happened, I remember, right, from you two was, Bambi, you immediately took me under your wing and just went, right, this is this is that, this is your
That's
first.
what she does.
Just literally calm me down. And you were next door in the stand next door, And I immediately felt comfortable because it was quite daunting. You know, when you stood there, you really are stood there, you know, with your backside hanging out, waiting for people to come and ask you any questions, you know. And it's like, I put all this effort and all this money into this stand. Is it going to be worth it? And you're just so friendly, and literally just went, no, Chris, this is going to be okay. You know, so after the day one, you know, you immediately made me feel comfortable.
Oh,
And
thank you.
Jojo, you probably don't remember this, but then I think it was like I went into the pub where other people were there.
I
And that's
remember.
quite nerve-wracking when everybody's tight. You know, there was quite a tight group of people there.
Mhm.
You know, and when you go there and you're thinking, wow, this is quite a new experience. And I've lived in Spain for 25 years. So although I'm from the UK, sometimes you find yourself in those situations with other business people, and you immediately just made me feel comfortable. You know, you're there, oh, how you doing? You know, chatty.
I think it's the show businesses in us, in it as well. Put people at their ease, you know.
Yeah, completely. It was just, you know, I just felt, and it made my whole sort of experience a lot better, because I think I would have been.
Oh, thank
You know,
you.
it
That's
really
nice
did.
to hear. Yeah.
Because that's gone and dusted for us. So you don't realise what impact you have on people. So we always try and make it a positive experience, because you know, you never know where that person is in their life. Do you know what I mean? I had no idea that you were really nervous.
Yeah, honestly, I would, and you know, I don't, you know, it's always quite a big thing, and I'm thinking, you know, wow, but you really did, and that made it, you know, for me and for us when we came back, because you know, essentially, then if you're relaxed and you're talking to people who could be clients, then they're going to be more relaxed. If you're stood there like stiff and nervous, you know, so so, and I mean that obviously that was my experience when I first met you. So obviously people who are literally putting their lives on the line to come and move here to Spain, you know, that's, you know, I do the paperwork side of things, so you know, I understand that stress. But some of the times when we're speaking to people, especially, we might get a slightly spiky email from a client, and I'll think, oh, and then you got to remember that it's not only this bit that we do, because we're like stamping the paperwork, tell them to get an acro, tell them to do this, which is, you know, it's the fact that they're trying to find somewhere to live, you know, they're stressed, they're a bit worried about the whole thing. And I think that's where you guys are breaking barriers and will break barriers in your business, especially with the type of accommodation that you're sort of selling, because I don't
think
think
we
anybody's
give
done it
a
the way you're doing
complete
it.
personal service, don't we, as well? And I think that helps.
Yeah.
You know, if they're very unsure about something, we can tend to find them. We can pick them up from the airport. We can take them to the park. We can do certain things that they wouldn't expect us necessarily to do. And it is more of a personal service and looking after them that little bit more. And like you said, putting you at your ease, you know, and making you remember them, you know, remember our experience, because it was a good one.
I think
absolutely.
Something very important as well in a business is not to be focused solely on your profit and money. And this is the most important thing, because your clients are important. You know, when they recommend you, that's important. Their experience, like Jojo said, is important. How you care for them, it's bloody frightening. Even if you're just buying a mobile home for a holiday, you know, it's a scary experience. You're giving over a lot of your hard-earned cash, and you need to be treated well. You need to be treated like you're special and you're individual, and you're not just on a cattle grid, you know, just a production line, and it's not about profit for us. No. Yes, some of it is about profit. Obviously, you wouldn't do it without making some money, but we want people to be happy. When I go into my parks, I've got to see and look them clients in the eye, and I want them to know we've done a really good job for them. We've done our best. We try and marry them up with the park that they would suit. We try and give them a personal service if they're unsure about something. We don't want it just to be about a profit margin. We want it to be about how we can help them move forward in Spain. Yeah. And that's why we recommend you guys as well, because we believe that we're trying to give that personal service. So if we can add something to our website or something that's going to help our clients, we do it.
Yeah, that's amazing. So the journey starts when people are here, but it doesn't end. Does
I think we
sold them a van, but you know, that's
did we freeze then?
Oh, did I freeze? Did I freeze?
It's still rolling.
I'm still rolling. It's still rolling. Right, we had a little technical hitch, but we're back.
Yay! We're back.
So where were we? So I always have a plan and never stick to it. Never mind. Anyway, we're talking about the business, people moving over, and it's been 9 months now, but your feet haven't touched the ground, has it, since you started?
No, it was mad from day one. Believe it or not, I couldn't believe how many people wanted to deal with us. I think they'd had bad experiences because sometimes, I don't know, we just do things differently.
I'll say my experience then. My experience with people in your industry has been it's very transactional, whereas I don't believe you are.
No,
just saying.
I think we're just personal.
Yeah, so and that was it. There was a lot, even as far back as like 2008. There was a going to be a park in Granada. I remember dealing with some clients there. They never even knew who the representative was, and it was like, when I think with you guys, you well, apart from the fact we'll come on to that in a minute, that people know you because you're very open on social media, which really helps, I think, as well, which immediately makes them feel comfortable, doesn't it? It's not as you say, you've all got to live, you've all got to run business, all got to eat and money and have a fun day as well, but it's not as the transactional thing where it's like, you got there's an understanding, as there is when we're trying to do paperwork, that people are coming to a new scary place to build a new life most of the time after they've worked their whole life, to get to that point.
They've saved this hard-earned cash, haven't they?
Yeah.
It's like they want it to be right. I want it to be right. You want it to be right. It's such a personal thing for us that we get it right. We marry up the person with the park and the people that are in that park, and pick them up and take them to the bank and give people like yourselves the business so that they're looked after. And it's a personal journey for us and for them. I have to look these people in the eye, so do you, don't you? And we talk to them on the phone all the time and we reassure them. And I just don't think it's about just money. It's everything for us.
I do feel like business is changing as we go through the years. And I think it's becoming less of that, 1980s, 90s, that capitalism type of thing. And we're becoming more conscious of how we do business and how we want our business to work. And there's lots of people like us. It's not just us, but hopefully we're forging the way in this industry for a different and more, pleasant experience, maybe.
I completely agree. And especially on the business side of things. I mean, so there was, like, here in the Costa del Sol, there was always this thing about if you did paperwork for people, you were selling information.
Yeah.
Like, and that person doesn't, you can sell that for a price. That's just not the way it is anymore. We sell the implementation. If you want to find out how to do it, you can go online and do it. I do it on my channel. I tell people this is how you get an ACRO certificate. It's more about the journey, having someone by your side, whether you're buying a park home or whether you're doing the paperwork or something, because it's a different world to how it was even pre-Brexit. Where the internet is there, and also people are a lot more active on Facebook groups and stuff. There is this still craziness with people who think, oh, well, I can sell the information. The information's out there. It's all about your relationship with the client and, how they feel and if they're comfortable about going with you to do what they want to do.
Of course. We really want people to be comfortable. We might not be a right fit for them.
No.
You can't expect to fit every person in one mold, and people are different. They want different things, and some people might like a different style. But I feel like we've got a good we've got lots of layers of our characters and personality, and we come together for the experience to be the same with the client, that they will have the end result. Whether they're spending 35,000 euros or 100,000, the service should be the same for me. We don't get preferential treatment because somebody's spending more money, because everyone's a human and they're all going through the same type of experience, and that's really important for us as a company.
Yeah, definitely.
And you've got, so I'm just looking here, you've got so far on your, so you've got parks that you're selling or can help people on Fingarola, Torre del Mar, which is my favorite place in the world. Love Torre del Mar.
Love it there.
Alcalá de Chiva. I like Berry Torre del Mar, I can tell you that. And a bit of Berry, that's nice down there. Alcalá de Chivert, is that right in Castellano? Have I said that right?
Alcalá de Chivert, yeah.
Chivert.
Yeah.
Chiverella Maria,
Yeah.
and also Olbox. So you really
Yeah.
have got a
And
variety.
El Pino on Torux.
And El Pino on Torux as
just
well. Lupino, you're
I
there as well.
That. Yeah, I just got that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, we are growing daily. The nice thing about me and Bambi is we've both had experience of park development as well.
Mhm.
So we will go into a park that maybe doesn't have any plots available, and we can offer a resale service to sell their home for them. Or if they've got plots available, we can put homes on and we can take people on a personal journey down there to see if they like the park or it. But we've both got personal skills in that area. So we've both done park development. So we both understand how important it is to get the right person at the right park. So having lots of parks helps.
It's not just one skill. We don't just sell. It's a whole bunch of skills, and it's really come into its own now. We've started our own business. The skill set, because like I'm pretty good on social media. You know, Jojo's good at kicking doors down because I'm a little bit shyer than her. So she'll go and like, you know, bash on the doors and say, "Hey, we're here. Do you want to have a look?" Where that isn't my thing. That isn't my thing. I'm doing a lot of backroom work, and Jojo's fronting at the moment. But I do rear my head.
When you started your own business, did you feel for free? Did you feel more nervous? What I know, I just told from experience, like, because I worked in this for a long time, but when I started the brand Upsticks, apart from being really nervous, you know, about what could happen and stuff, there's a certain element as I can actually do what I like, take it where I like, be where I like. If I want to wear a t-shirt at work, I'm not gonna wear a shirt, which I do. You know, and it's very, very rarely you see me wearing a shirt. I might wear a polo shirt if I'm having to have a smart day, which drives my wife mad, to be honest. But yeah, this is my work attire, because you know, people, you can't sell visas and wear a t-shirt. Well, why not? You know, I don't want people to judge.
Do what you like. It's your company.
Exactly. You must have had a feeling of that though when you started.
I mean, a lot of people in the industry are older men of a certain, men and people of a certain age in the industry are. We want to change it, right? We want to be lively women who, if we don't want to wear a suit and we want to wear a pair of jeans and we want to wear trainers and we want to only work 3 days a week, but make them days really important days.
Really count, yeah.
We don't want to do 7 days a week running around like headless chickens, being busy fools. We want to make a difference, and the way to make a difference is to utilise our time to its full potential, and get as many people on them days that we want to work out to Spain to see us, take them round, marry them up, give them their dreams, and still keep our work-life balance.
Yeah, that's so important.
So our peace of mind is set, because I know that you've struggled and I've struggled with the
daily grind,
the hours, and
the daily grind, where you just feel like you're treading water a lot of the time, and you're not. You know, you can be really effective in 1 hour.
Yeah.
You don't have to do those 9 hours of going, that 1 hour, bang, it just falls into place. It's like, right, today I've sold a home and I've worked 1 hour. Okay, you've got to do the rest of the stuff.
We didn't just work 1 hour today, by the way.
But you can get up in the morning and you can do 1 hour's work and a video call and you've sold a home.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, you can work 9 hours and not sell anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you can be effective with your time management. And going back to your original question, was I'd got to the point where I wasn't nervous about starting the business. I believed in myself for the first time in my life, like really believed that I was that person who could do it. And I think
you could have done it with me 2 years ago.
No,
you could do it with me now.
We both hit it at the right time, and we decided that, you know, I would not want to do this business with anybody else apart from Jojo, because one, I know her value as a woman and a person. I know her morals, and I know she's got a good moral compass, and also she's a brilliant saleswoman. She's really, really good. I totally respect
everything
her.
she said. I've got respect for her. I totally get Bambi, and she totally gets me. We are actually best friends. We talk every single day. We live miles apart, 3.5 hours apart.
Yeah.
We come together all the time because that's really important too. We come together, say, once a month or whatever, and catch up. But we talk every single day.
We work things out
every day.
No, we don't agree on everything. It's not the perfect partnership, which what is, but we'll talk it through
every day,
and we come to a nice balance. I think we are quite good. We're quite kind of yin and yang, aren't we?
Yeah, we are yin and yang. I'd say that. Yeah, yin and yang. Because I'm very outgoing and very outspoken and very loud, and I know my faults. I'm the first person who can hold my head up and say I've got lots of them, but my heart's in the right place, and she knows that. And she can be very calming and laid back and let me see it from a different point of view. And you know what? It just works, doesn't it? It works.
I'm just going to use that. So when I get in trouble in the office, I'm going to say, at least my heart's in the right place. Let me just write that down. So I remember that. If I do something wrong blatantly, again, look, I know my faults, but my heart's in the right place. So that's so you're, but you not only so you're so entrepreneurs, got your business, but you also do a little bit of television.
We do. We've I started
season 4.
filming on season 4 for Bargain Brits in the Sun, and I just thought, I was asked to do it, and I thought, oh yeah, I'll give it a go, thinking that it would just be
fizzle out
a minute on the whole series, or 6 episodes, not series. And then every week somebody was saying, oh, you've been on the telly again. I didn't watch it because I thought, oh, I can't face it. And they were
Did
like,
you not watch it? You're not watching it?
No.
I watched you yesterday.
And then it just exploded, and I was like, oh gosh, this has gone a bit big. And then it really helped, not only my profile, but the selling of homes at the time. It really, and I thought, okay. And they said, do you want to do it again? Yes. I was like, yeah, I'll do it again. And then it just exploded into, right, we're going to do a Christmas special with you, your mom, and I was like,
I went a bit mad.
Oh, this is gone. And then obviously I introduced Jojo to the show.
Series 6, episode 3.
and on she came, like like a sparkling star that she is.
We're on series 13 now. We're on series 13, and we've been in every series. So
crazy,
it's
absolutely crazy.
Crackers.
That must be really. So when people do, so obviously aside from what you do with a business, do you get recognised then?
All the time. Yeah, it's happened today. Yeah.
Wow.
And yesterday, people coming up. Somebody actually, I went in to have breakfast today on my own in a bar where I'm staying. And this girl who's a waitress, she was an Irish, lovely girl. She came up to me at the end and she said, are you that lady who sells caravans? I said, yeah. And she said, now what's your name? And she said, Bitsy. She went, is your name Bitsy? And I was like, no, it's Bambi. However, I have got a cat called Bitsy, which is a really strange name for you to come up with. And she's like, oh my God, yes, I know it's Bambi, but I've been called Barbie. Are you Barbie off the telly or Babs? And now Bitsy to add to it. So it's
did you say you had a cat named Bitsy? So you got a cat name? You got a cat named Bitsy?
I've got a cat named Bitsy, and I've only just had her about 6 months ago. So
did you ever mention her on the TV then?
No, she hasn't been filmed. No, last year. No, they weren't filmed last year, were they?
No, my cat was filmed last year. My cat was filmed last
she
year.
just said it, and
Smokey.
I thought, are you psychic?
But they don't call me Smokey.
No.
They normally get my name right, but Bambi's wrong. I don't know.
Babs or Barbie.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're filming again? Are you filming again this year then?
Yeah, we filmed a series last November, and we're in it quite a lot. But as now as a company,
October and November we filmed for.
But that hasn't been showed yet, has it? And if they film a new series, I presume that they'll ask us. We don't go with the begging bowl; they always
come to us. So we must be doing something right.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You're the stars. You're the stars of the show.
Oh God, I don't think so. But what people, sorry, just to jump in, what people don't realise is it's really long hours.
Oh God, yeah.
The filming, when you're a character on the show, it's not just like, hey, we're going to film for an hour. It's like 9-hour days.
9-hour days,
And
20 minutes.
It's full on.
Yeah.
It's full on, and then it just gets cut down to like a minute on the show or something like that. So it's a lot of hours we give up, and everyone, the main like characters. I know that sounds a bit, but the main characters, they give up a lot of their spare time to be able to film. You know, but hopefully the offshoot of that is we get some nice business.
And we've put some really lovely clients of ours on TV, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
The people that have bought caravans from us, we've actually got them on television, showing off their caravans or doing interviews or just like being silly in the background. Yeah, we've got lots and lots of our clients on telly.
Yeah.
We like that. Yeah.
I bet they love it. Have you asked any of your clients and they've said no? Said no chance. I'm not going on TV.
Oh, a couple of them.
Sometimes, you know, it's not something that if they don't want to do, it's absolutely fine. We wouldn't say, oh, go on, you know, if they don't want to. But usually we pick out the people who are interested. You know, they're making a TV program and they don't want, you know, drinking violets. Really, they want people who are a bit outgoing characters. Yeah, you know, and I feel like we're quite good at picking people out. You know, I've got loads of people on the TV.
Yeah, including me. Yeah. First week I bought a caravan. The film crew were there.
Right.
I bought the caravan and I turned up and she went, "You'd be really good on telly, Jojo." She said, "You've got a marvellous story. You'd be really good on telly, and I need to put you in there." And I was really sort of grieving at the time because I'd lost my husband, and I was really sort of in a bad way, wasn't I? But at the same time, I felt like I wanted to talk about it as well. Yeah. And because my mum just lived down the road, my birth mum, and I'd met her, that was a really good storyline as well. So that they were really interested, weren't they? And you got me on TV.
I did. Did you find
she even got me singing on television because I used to be a singer in the UK as well. And she even got me a gig like on the first week I was there. I mean, some poor man, you know, he'd passed away, hadn't he? And you know, they were doing a memorial, and it was at the caravan park, and you even got me on that, didn't you?
Did, yeah.
And they filmed that, and then we did. There was another show. This guy owned a lovely villa, and he wanted to do Titanic Day, wasn't it? Yeah. And he wanted Bambi to go up and dance and me to sing. And we ended up having a great time there as well. Yeah. And filming that too. Yeah. So, she's got me a few gigs.
So did you find it quite cathartic to speak about it on the TV about Gary?
Yeah, a lot of people that watched my first one on TV where I'm talking about Gary, and my mum's there and she's talking about meeting me for the first time and how she felt, because I met her at 39 and at 9 days old I was given up, and she was just, the day I met her we both looked alike and we both like, I was like that, and it was just crazy. And even you got to know Linda, my mum, and she was a lovely lady. Unfortunately she passed away a couple of years ago, but the time I had with her was so special, and I did find it really helped being on telly. Yeah, it helped me get through that stage. And when I rewatch it, I've got all the pictures of Gary on there, and I've got all the pictures of my mum and her talking about me. And it's lovely. It's nice to look back on, isn't it?
They're good memories, aren't they?
It's great. I'm
sad,
grateful.
but you've seen your journey now. Her journey's been massive. You know, it's been a whirlwind and a roller coaster.
I think we've both become stronger women, haven't we?
I think so, yeah.
Definitely. Through the business and through becoming friends and through helping other people, it's made us stronger, because on every transaction we do where we meet somebody and we sell them a home, it's another stage of our journey as well. Yeah. It's really important.
No, and it's, I mean, all of that experience, whether it's good or bad, that you've had, ultimately is going to translate to when you're speaking to people who are moving over, you know, because everybody's moving a lot of the time. I mean, I don't know, we have a demographic of retired people, and obviously retired people had a long life and may have their own doubts, and you know, whatever you have learned along the way, you always dig into the back of your head and think, well, actually, and I sometimes derive from the experience I've had with other clients, you know, because you know, you do learn things, and you've had clients pass away, or you know, the clients get ill, and you try not to get emotionally involved, but you ultimately do. It's always going to be there at the back of your head, you know. But then if that experience, like what you've had, can help somebody else especially when they're going for a big move. They might have somebody who's widowed or whatever as well. Then that's all part of the tapestry of moving over. It's not just there's a home, there's a key, is it?
No, absolutely not. I totally agree with you. It is, you do get personally involved. Obviously, you can't absorb everything that people are going through because you have to remain professional, but we try to be personable, and we do really care about the fact that we want people to be happy when they come over. It doesn't always, the dream doesn't always work out for them, but
it's different dreams sometimes.
Generally,
and if it doesn't, you offer the resale, so we're all right, we're okay. So the resale service, this is like end to end. There's even a safety buffer there for people.
Absolutely,
if they want to come. But all right, guys, well, look, I've taken so much of your time, but two things. First of all, you got to promise me that you will come back on after summer or during summer and let
absolutely. Really love to, Chris. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
No, thank you for coming on. And if people want to contact you, I'm just going to put on the captions again so they can get you at the website, bambijojo.com. Yeah,
that's correct.
Bambijojo.com. Find us on Facebook as well. Bambi and Jojo.
You've got on Facebook as well. I think I've got the hang on a minute, let me just put this up. Here we go. So you've only, but really, to be honest with you, because of your social media presence, I mean, I just Googled Bambi and Jojo and it's
and it will come.
We'll be there. And we're always out there. Don't worry.
Channel 5, or you'll be on the website, or you'll be anywhere. And if you ever find yourself near Alarin de la Torre, well, you're always welcome here to
Thank you so much.
That'd be lovely.
We'll see you soon for sure, Chris.
Definitely.
Bye.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming on. We'll speak to you soon.
Take care, Chris. Thank you. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Wow, that was amazing, wasn't it? That was a bit of fun. I enjoyed that. So just remember that if you are listening to this on Spotify, then you can watch this video on YouTube. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can also listen to it on Spotify. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll have our next podcast very soon.